labels are for kind of kids, I feel like sometimes. The reason why I say kids sometimes is because label makes you happy and when you're young because they give you so much free shit. You live off so much free shit. And then when you grow older, you like, all right, I want to own this now. I want to own this now. I want to have residual income. I want to, you feel me?
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes the problem when they get a little older. So they try to say, oh, you old now. Or this, you're not old, you got smarter.
I'm feeling this. I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement, still moving, subscriber diatribe. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. You know, this is why they say we have Black America, we have young music, you know, rap is for young folks and, you know, R&B not so much, but they say our music is for the youth. And to me, is what Bobby Schmurd is talking about. Labels want younger people, especially when they're Black, because you can screw them over easier. When you think about the music itself and the quality of it being made, a lot of our music that is timeless actually comes from adults, you know, who are adults when it comes out, and they have life experience that they put to music. Every now and then you got people who are young but they normally happen to be either like musical geniuses or somebody's writing for them who's older, or they actually have been performing for extended period of time. It's just they're young. You get what I'm saying? So they were performing as children and they wind up being like, you know, 18, 19, blah, blah, blah. So they've probably been performing for, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years anyway. So that's a whole nother thing. But it's the business part, because think about it. When you look at music with predominantly non-Black people, when you see white people in rock and roll, you know, older, you know, the country older. It's an age thing that goes into it. But when those people are older, somehow those white record executives and labels, they know how to treat their other white musicians very, you know, fairly, you know. So they could sell less records but make more money, right? So that becomes an issue. And when it comes to, you know, rap in particular, rap is the cheapest form of music to make, and it has the highest return. So you give somebody some money on the front end and they're young, they're going to take a deal, you're going to give them a janky deal. And then they may make a couple of hit songs, maybe a hit album, and you gave them $1 million, but truth be told, you might have made 15 to 20. And then you put them in debt. You know what I'm saying? Because even if they recoup, they ain't recoup because you overcharge them for everything. So thus, like, you've never seen an explosion of an album since a debut album since 50 Cent was 50 Cent wasn't the last one. The Game was actually the last one that I could think of, because The Game came out the gate for like 5 million, but that was on the back of 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? So Eminem, but 50 Cent was the biggest explosion, you know, because he went like diamond twice. But when he came out, he was 25, and y'all forget that Jay-Z first album, he was like 25, you know. So Tupac died at 25, which makes him a little bit different. But, you know, you got to remember he started out as a background dancer, got a verse, you know, then became a rapper or whatever. But when you look at his life, you go, oh, I see why he has this much experience. So y'all got to take that into consideration. You know, there's a lot of one-hit wonders in our music. And you see it now, like you see a lot of artists that I grew up listening to still relevant and still making music. You saw recently with the Killer Mike thing, him, sweeping the Grammys. You can even say that with Bruno Mars, because he kind of um who was it? He actually blew up on the scene with B.O.B. I forgot the hit that they made together, but it was a number one hit. It was a smash. But it's that age helps you musically and um, business wise, because labels, to me, they get them young. And like I saw where there were artists who were garbage artists, but they had one good song, and the label will sign them. And they actually, by the time they started getting good as an artist, they basically didn't market them, or because they were trashed with that one song in the beginning, by the time they got to their second, maybe third album, and they actually got good, they wasn't pushing them, and they already had made their money off of the first, song or two. So that's a whole nother thing, and it's hard for somebody, people see you and you make a good first impression with your song, and then your album comes out, people and that's why you see nowadays they're not even really putting out albums like that. People just make a song and then another song and then another song, and only the big artists are coming out with albums. And half of those, more I say 75% of those aren't good. You get what I'm saying? So, and sometimes, older artists, sometimes people got older and you would say they fell off, and sometimes they did. And sometimes they just put out trash because they were trying to get out of their contract, and they made better music after that. So it's a, the business part of our music ruined um our getting better at music. Plus, the labels weren't signing people that are talented, because some of these talented people are smart, and they smarter in business than they once were. You get what I'm saying? That's why you can see a lot of dumb artists, and when they interview, they stupid. Because there was a time where the people that were making the music, they weren't stupid when you interviewed them. You get what I'm saying? Some of them talk funny, but generally speaking, like go look at old interviews from Ice Cube, Tupac, Lauryn Hill, Nas. Ti took him a minute, because when he first came out, he was country as hell. But like I think I said Outkast, but the Master P, who was like in his 20s when it blew up, Biggie came across as very smart. I said DMX. Jay-Z, same thing. You started getting dumb interviews, and it started dumb, and the music went with it, and people started getting played with it. Like 50 Cent, the same thing. Look at his younger interviews. You knew he was sharp. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take it.